Have you ever heard of a country where strangers affectionately call each other love? Where a small village of just 100 people sends out over 10,000 love letters every year? A place where every September, thousands of people from across the globe gather in search of a life partner? In this land, one out of every five international marriages involves an American. The locals cherish red hair as a national genetic treasure. So much so that couples with red hair are encouraged to have more children to help preserve this unique gene. This isn't just a fairy tale. This is Ireland, known for its enchanting hills, enduring romantic spirit, and delightful traditions that captivate the world. Join me today as we dive into 15 incredible facts about Ireland in this travel documentary. Number 16. Ireland was the first country in the world to legalize same sex marriage through a national referendum. In 2015, Ireland made history by becoming the first country to legalize same sex marriage through a democratic vote. The people of Ireland not only showed their support with ballots, but also transformed the streets of Dublin into a sea of rainbow flags during the celebrations. Across towns, from cozy pubs to ancient churches, everyone proudly displayed the rainbow flag as a bold affirmation that love knows no bounds. This event was considered a monumental leap for human rights, not just within Ireland, but as an inspiration to countries around the world. The story of this small, compassionate nation touched hearts everywhere. From young people to elders in remote villages, everyone united to make this historic victory possible. Today, same-sex marriage is not only legal but warmly embraced as a natural part of Irish life. With beaming smiles and open hearts, Ireland proved to the world that love truly has the power to change everything. Number 15. The unique emerald jewel of Europe that mesmerizes everyone. Situated on the western edge of Europe, Ireland is a stunning island, surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean, separated by a narrow strait from England known as the Irish Sea. Covering an area of around 27,000 square miles, or approximately 70,000 square kilometers, Ireland is only one-third the size of New York State. Yet its natural beauty and cultural richness greatly surpass that. As of 2025, Ireland's population is projected to be over 4.9 million, similar to Alabama. But every resident carries a distinct cultural pride. The primary language spoken in Ireland is English, but interestingly, there are still hundreds of thousands of people who converse in Gaelic, which is one of Europe's oldest and most enigmatic languages. The climate in Ireland might come as a surprise to American visitors. It remains cool throughout the year, with average summer temperatures hovering around 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius, and winter temperatures rarely dropping below 35 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 degrees Celsius. Due to the plentiful rainfall, the country is renowned for its lush greenery all year round, which is why it is often referred to as the Emerald Isle. Remarkably, despite its relatively small size, Ireland boasts the highest number of Nobel laureates per capita in the world and is the birthplace of Guinness, the most famous stout globally. Number 14, Keem Bay, considered the cleanest beach in Europe. You won't believe that you are still in Ireland when you stand before Keem Bay, a beach of such beauty that it's often dubbed the Caribbean of Europe, located on Achill Island in Western Ireland. With its crystal clear turquoise waters, soft white sand, and surrounding mountains, Keem Bay consistently receives the Blue Flag Beach designation, a prestigious accolade awarded to the cleanest and most environmentally friendly beaches in Europe. Here, you won't find high-rise hotels, luxury resorts, or even cell phone service. This place is entirely disconnected from the noisy world, and that absolute tranquility makes it the most emotionally enriching destination for those looking to rejuvenate their spirits. Interestingly, you can kayak while watching dolphins swim close to the shore, or set up a tent and enjoy one of the most breathtaking sunsets in Europe, where the sun dips behind the cliffs and casts a golden glow on the calm, picture-perfect sea. Notably, the scenic mountain road leading to Keem Bay is regarded as the most beautiful in Ireland. Winding through steep cliffs and attracting motorcyclists and campers from the US and Canada for photo opportunities. If you're a film enthusiast, you'll recognize this landscape from the Oscar nominated movie The Banshees of Inisherin 2022. If you're searching for a place to disconnect, the good news is that Keem Bay has no cell service or Wi Fi, no social media, no work emails, just the soothing sounds of the waves, the wind, and dolphins leaping out of the water right by the shore. Are you ready to explore the beach in an island that has everyone talking? Comment yes if Keem Bay is on your must visit list. Number 13, a hidden paradise of beauty in Ireland. When you arrive in Ireland, you'll soon notice something special. The women here are not only beautiful but also exude a unique sense of leadership. They aren't loud or ostentatious, yet they command attention and make those around them listen. With sharp voices and a touch of characteristic Irish humor, they often take the lead in family matters, from parenting to deciding what to watch on television in the evening. Irish women boast a higher college graduation rate compared to men and are among the leaders in Europe when it comes to business ownership. Many of them operate family pubs, serving pints while managing the accounts like true CEOs. This has led many Americans to liken them to a blend of a Texas bar owner and a Parisian woman. They usually don't wear much makeup, but they pay considerable attention to their hair, which is one of their key beauty secrets. Don't be surprised if you see Irish girls baking soda bread or brewing tea from a young age. It is a traditional coming of age practice passed down by every Irish mother. Interestingly, the Irish possess a rather modern view on international love, as 1 in 5 cross-border marriages involves an American. And if you are fortunate, you might just bite into a slice of buttered bread that hides a secret marriage proposal inside. A charmingly quirky yet incredibly romantic custom found in rural Western Ireland. If you wish to know more about this fascinating custom, please leave a comment with the number 3. Should you ask for directions or simply say how are you? How are you? Be ready for a half-hour chat. Irish women will affectionately refer to you as love, darling, or pet. With such warmth, it may just make your heart flutter. If this piques your interest and you want to learn more about connecting or getting to know Irish women through social media, leave a comment with the number 6. I'll gladly share the best tips with you. Number 12, Lisdoon Varna, the most unusual love town in Europe. If you believe Tinder is a 21st century innovation, then you might not have heard of Lisdoon Varna, a quaint town in Western Ireland, where matchmaking has been taking place for 160 years and there's absolutely no need for Wi-Fi. Every September, as the leaves begin to turn golden, over 40,000 singles from across Europe, the US and even Asia gather here to partake in the Lisdoon Varna Matchmaking Festival, the largest matchmaking festival in Europe. What makes it unique is that you can trial marry for 3 days, complete with rings, wedding photos, and a small celebration akin to a condensed honeymoon, before parting ways with laughter on the 4th day. The town, which has just over 700 residents, usually enjoys a tranquil existence. But during the festival, it morphs into a fairy tale Las Vegas of love. The pubs become dating venues, where bartenders not only serve beers but also don the role of matchmaker like therapists. At the heart of the festival is Willie Daly, one of Ireland's most renowned matchmakers, a third-generation matchmaker. He carries a love notebook that is over 150 years old and contains details about hundreds of romantic prospects. According to legend, if you touch the book with both hands, you will be married for real within 6 months. The festival lasts for 30 days, featuring over 80 events that include music, folk dancing, and evening parties, where you might just meet someone special while waltzing or ordering a pint of Guinness. There are no restrictions based on age, appearance, or background. Everyone, from youthful first-time lovers to widowers seeking happiness, has a chance to experience love here. Interestingly, many couples arrive with the intention of having a fun, fake wedding, but end up having a real wedding in their lives. Over 3,000 couples have discovered love thanks to this festival, a figure that has earned Lisdoon Varna the title of the only love town in the world that can transform your life in just 72 hours. Number 11 is Adare, the most beautiful old village in Ireland. If you've ever dreamt of a fairy tale European village where people still reside in thatched roof houses dating back to the 13th century, where flowers bloom throughout the year and where a five-star castle has been named the best hotel in the world, then you need not dream any longer. Just visit Adare, known as the most beautiful village in Ireland and a strong contender for the title of the most beautiful village in Europe. Nestled in Western Ireland, Adar is like a living museum. The thatched houses here aren't just for photographs. People actually reside in them as part of a modern medieval setting. Every morning, they wash the dishes in stone kitchens, brew tea in copper kettles, and gaze out at vibrant lavender gardens. This is daily life in Adair, not merely a scene from a Netflix film. Interestingly, the entire town has around 1,200 residents. Yet it is home to three ancient monasteries dating back to the 13th century, a five-star castle named Adara Manor, which is set to host the 2027 Ryder Cup, the most prestigious golf tournament in the world, and an esteemed European golf course where billionaires, politicians, and sporting legends have played. Would you dare to step into a world without Wi-Fi but filled with magic? If yes, please leave a comment with the number 7 for a virtual tour of this enchanting village. Now, moving on to number 10, the tea drinking culture. When one thinks of tea, the English often come to mind first. However, if you've ever been to Ireland, you'll soon discover a surprising reality. The Irish consume tea even more avidly than the English. Latest figures show that each Irish person gulps down an average of about 1/400 cups of tea annually, placing Ireland among the top 3 countries for tea consumption globally, right after Turkey and England. In Ireland, tea is not merely a beverage, it is a vibrant culture. Between 1100 am and 300 to 4 o'clock pm, you will witness offices, schools, hospitals, and even construction sites halting for tea time. No one questions it. They refer to it as a cuppa break, and it's as sacred as a small ceremony during the day. Interestingly, the Irish don't just sip tea to stay awake, they brew it to heal their emotions. There's even a ritual known as a cuppa and a cry, where one sits down, enjoys a cup of tea, and sheds tears comfortably to relieve stress. Tea in Ireland not only warms the belly, but it also nourishes the soul. In the countryside, the tradition of drinking tea runs much deeper. People often sit by the fireplace, relishing soda bread, while listening to the radio share folk tales, with no music or news, just warm and comforting stories. An old radio is held as a prized possession in many kitchens. Interestingly, during the wars of the 20th century, when tea was in short supply, the Irish would hide their tea as though it were gold, only bringing it out for special guests or occasions. For them, tea represents warmth, hospitality, and sometimes even a mark of honor. Number 9 is about the most unusual Valentine village in the world. In Ireland, there exists a tiny village with fewer than 100 residents that does something extraordinary. It sends out over 10,000 love letters each year. In this digital age of texts and emojis, this village continues to write handwritten letters using purple ink, scented paper, and wax seals, much like in the 19th century. Each letter is adorned with a heart-shaped seal bearing the village's name, which stamp collectors from across the globe covet. Every February, they open a love post office that operates solely during the Valentine season. People from countries like the US, Germany, Japan, and even Brazil send letters to this village. Not for anyone in particular, but simply to receive a random love letter from a stranger somewhere in the world. Interestingly, there have been couples who fell in love and got married simply because of a Valentine's letter sent from this Irish village. There's a 92-year-old woman known as Island's Cupid, who pens over 300 handwritten letters each year in purple ink, using gentle, poetic language. Not far away, right in the heart of Dublin, there's an even more surprising secret: the Whitefriars Street Church, which houses the actual relic of Saint Valentine, a gift from Pope Gregory XVI in 1836. Every February 14th, thousands of couples from around the globe gather here to pray for love in this ancient Catholic church, where the relic is respectfully kept under the altar in a gilded box. This place is not just the heart of Dublin, it is the heart of global love. Remarkably, one doesn't have to be Catholic to feel the emotion here. Some people come simply to sit quietly for 5 minutes, gazing at the golden box beneath the altar and whispering things they've never dared to say to anyone. For the Irish, this is referred to as a quiet prayer of the heart, a whispered prayer that only love can hear. Perhaps nowhere else on earth is love both sacred and humorous, organized yet deeply Irish, quite like this. Now, coming to number 8, life in Dublin. Dublin is not a loud or flashy city. It possesses a subtle charm with friendly people who will guide you along the way if you just ask for directions. The residents live at a leisurely pace but with depth, valuing connection over competition. During the day, Dublin presents a lively scene filled with sidewalk cafes, students cycling through parks adorned with lush green grass, and bus drivers renowned for their wit and storytelling abilities, often cracking jokes with passengers riding the entire journey. The city doesn't have a metro system, but the double-decker buses and Luas tram network are more than adequate for exploring every nook and corner, from the bustling city centre to the peaceful suburbs. As night descends, Dublin takes on a different warmth. The yellow lights of pubs glow invitingly, while the sounds of fiddles, laughter, and the whiff of peat from open fireplaces evoke a deep sense of nostalgia. In Dublin, sitting alone in a pub doesn't feel lonely. It's an opportunity to relish life, soaking in the atmosphere, listening, and occasionally striking up a conversation with a passing stranger. And if there's one spot you absolutely must visit, it's Trinity College and the Long Room Library, home to the Book of Kells, which is over 1,200 years old. When you enter, it's not just about the books. You're connecting with history itself. Number 7 on the list of the most famous tourist attractions in Ireland. If you think Ireland is merely about verdant fields and pints of Guinness, prepare to be astonished. It boasts some of the most breathtaking natural wonders in Europe that will leave you in awe. First on the list are the Cliffs of Moher, Ireland's premier natural landmark. These majestic cliffs soar over 700 feet, 214 meters, above the Atlantic Ocean. They are not just a popular sight, but also served as a backdrop for films like Harry Potter and The Princess Bride, where the fiery sunsets light up the rocks, crafting a scene that resembles a painting. Next up is Blarney Castle, a 15th century fortress where millions of visitors queue up just to kiss the famous Blarney Stone, hoping to receive the gift of eloquence. We mustn't overlook the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland, where over 40,000 naturally stacked hexagonal basalt columns create a landscape that feels otherworldly. According to legend, this formation was created by the giant Finn McCool, and you might find yourself believing it when standing in such a surreal setting. Lastly, there's Killarney National Park, the emerald jewel of Ireland. With its mountains, lakes, ancient forests, and rare red deer, it's a paradise for anyone who enjoys trekking, biking, or simply immersing themselves in nature, almost like stepping into a vibrant fairy tale. Which place will you choose to begin your dream journey in Ireland? Do comment below the video. Number 6 boasts the second highest rate of redheads in the world. When we think of red hair, people's minds often go to certain movie characters or classic paintings. But in Ireland, red hair is not a rare treasure found in books. It's a true genetic specialty. Around 10% of the population has natural red hair, making Ireland second only to Scotland. However, in specific regions like Galway and Kerry, no place in the world embodies this fiery trait quite like it. The reason for this is the MC-NAR gene, a rare genetic mutation that produces red pigment. Only 1 to 2% of people globally carry this gene. But in Ireland, that figure increases nearly tenfold. Interestingly, this gene is associated with enhanced absorption of vitamin D in sun-deprived climates, which is quite fitting considering Ireland's typically overcast skies throughout the year. However, red hair in Ireland represents more than just a biological trait, it is deeply rooted in the culture. In the past, red hair was regarded as something unusual, but today it, along with light freckles and fair skin, epitomizes classic Celtic beauty. From Renaissance paintings to modern advertising campaigns, Ireland even hosts the Redhead Convention in Cork, where thousands of red haired individuals from across the globe gather to sing, race barefoot, adorn flowers in their hair, and celebrate their uniqueness. Number 5 is the profession of Seanchai, Ireland's most treasured, intangible heritage. Long before the days of Netflix, television, or podcasts, the Irish had the Seanchai, storytellers akin to living libraries. They were more than mere storytellers. They served as custodians of cultural heritage, safeguarding the legends and mysteries of the entire nation. In ancient Irish society, Seanchai were held in high esteem, almost on par with poets or clergy, and whenever they spoke, the entire village listened in silence. These storytellers possessed sharp memories and captivating eloquence. Without books, microphones, or scripts, just a chair by the fireplace and a pint of Guinness, a Seanchai could keep an entire pub wrapped for hours. They didn't just share stories, they preserved the collective memory of the nation. From Celtic legends like the goddess Brigid and the Battle of Moytura to rural jokes, epics, and riddles, Seanchai remembered it all. Even the elderly in their 80s can recount intricate details of tales they heard as children of just 6 years. In every village, the Seonchai chair at the pub is regarded as sacred. When they arrive, no announcement is necessary and no one dares to interrupt. The Irish believe that the talent of a Seonchai is a divine gift, not something that can be taught to everyone. Some can weave tales for 3 hours without repeating a word. Interestingly, when the Irish migrated to America in the early 20th century, they brought the tradition of Seonchai with them, telling stories in churches, barber shops, or among the bars in Boston and Chicago. That is how Irish culture has been passed down orally, rather than through books. Number 4, Ireland. This country boasts the most beautiful 40 shades of green in the world. If there were a color palette dedicated to nature, Ireland would undoubtedly hold exclusive rights to green. With over 80% of its land covered in grass, forests, and natural vegetation, it is known as the greenest country in Europe. This is not just symbolic. It is literally green down to every pixel when seen from the satellite images. The reason for this is that Ireland experiences rain almost throughout the year on average. There are between 150 to 225 rainy days each year, depending on the region. While tourists might grumble about the rain, asking, "Why is it raining again?" the locals simply smile and say, "It's the rain that makes our greenery so special." They don't just refer to it as grass. They call it cut 40 shades of green, inspired by Johnny Cash's famous song following his trip to Ireland in 1959. And it's truly not an exaggeration. If you stand in the meadows of County Kerry or Wicklow, you will see grass in various shades of lime green, olive, mint, and moss. Each passing cloud brings forth a different hue. Another interesting point is that due to the thick grass that remains lush throughout the year, Ireland becomes a paradise for dairy cows that graze on real grass. Irish milk, butter, and cheese consistently rank among the highest quality in the world, finding popularity in places like the US, France, and Germany. A latte in Dublin is not just fragrant from the coffee, but also creamy, thanks to the rich grass from the highlands. In Ireland, green is more than just a backdrop. It's an identity, a piece of poetry, and a reason for the visitors to return. Not just for the scenery, but for the feeling of breathing in harmony with the land and sky. Number 3, the most famous festival in the world is celebrated in Ireland. When it comes to festivities, St. Patrick's Day is undoubtedly the most renowned. Held annually on 17 March, this is not only Ireland's largest national festival, but also a global phenomenon where people all over the world don green, transform into leprechauns, and participate in parades, enjoy live music, dance, and, of course, indulge in a few pints of cold Guinness. In Dublin alone, Over 500,000 people participate every year, transforming the city into a lively sea of revelers for 5 consecutive days. But if you think Ireland only has one vibrant festival, let me introduce you to Samhain, the true precursor of modern Halloween. Taking place at the end of October in the Gaelic speaking regions known as Gaeltacht, this festival features bonfires, spooky costumes, and rituals to honor ancestors, a mystical experience steeped in Celtic culture. Now, moving on to the cost of living in Ireland, living in this country gives you the serene charm of ancient Europe, but at a considerably more reasonable cost compared to the US. If you're contemplating a place to retire, work remotely, or simply want to slow down a bit, Ireland is indeed a viable option. In Dublin, the country's most vibrant capital, rent for a one-bedroom flat in the city centre is about 150,000 per month. If you opt to live in the suburbs or smaller cities like Limerick or Cork, the price can drop to approximately 80,000 to 100,000 per month. Utility costs for electricity, water, heating, and waste are around 12,000 per month, while high-speed internet averages about 3,200 per month. For food, you'll spend about 32,000 to 40,000 per month, depending on your lifestyle and cooking habits. A meal at a casual restaurant in Ireland costs around 1,200 to 1,600. A monthly public transport pass is about 8,800, and if you like to stay fit, gym memberships here are only about 3,200 to 4,800 per month. A basic dental checkup costs approximately 5,000 to 7,000. The average monthly expense for a person living in Ireland is around 1,000 to 75,000 to 200,000, which is nearly 40% less than that in New York or San Francisco, and is comparable to many major cities in Spain or Portugal. Spending 200,000 a month for life in Ireland, do you think that's affordable or still a bit too steep? Share your views. First and foremost, Irish cuisine is a culinary delight. Though it may seem simple, it reflects a rich cultural heritage that spans from ancient peasant dishes to those celebrated by UNESCO. The iconic Irish stew, made with tender lamb, potatoes, carrots, and fragrant onions, is one such dish recognized by UNESCO as part of the intangible cultural heritage of Ireland. It often graces the table on St. Patrick's Day, serving as a reminder of the rustic history of the Irish people. When visiting a traditional Irish family, you'll likely be offered soda bread, a slightly tangy, unleavened bread typically served with salted butter or piping hot soup. Each family has its own unique recipe, and the Irish regard it as the essence of home-cooked meals. Another standout is the full Irish breakfast, a hearty spread featuring sausages, eggs, bacon, potato cakes, and black pudding, which poses an adventurous challenge for foreign taste buds. And let's not forget Guinness, not only the most renowned stout globally, but also the national drink of Ireland, served up regularly in countless pubs where strangers quickly become friends over just one pint. Together, we've discovered unique and fascinating facts about Ireland. We hope this has given you a new outlook on the country. Do remember to follow our channel. Please like and share the video to support us. We'll see you in the next one.